Hello friends, and welcome to The Hanged Man in the Moon. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased to meet you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I'm truly honored. Friends, if you are a returning visitor, you're probably wondering, where the heck am I? And to tell you the truth, you know that this is not my regular recording space. This is not my office. This is a temporary office that was given to me because the building that I work in apparently still had asbestos, and now they're going to gut the place of the asbestos, and everybody needed to clear the building for 2 months, so they gave me this space to work in for the winter break. So please be patient. The background is going to be like this for a little while. I hope it's okay. But like I said, this is a temporary office, and I'm very grateful for having this space. And they just fixed the heater for me so that my space is warm and it's quiet, and I think we're going to be okay. So that's the business for today. There's a little bit more business. Another thing I'd like to do is I'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank you in advance for all of you who do those things like hit the thumbs up button, like subscribing to the channel. We grow bit by bit every day. And for those of you who comment below, all of those things are wonderful, and you help other people find us by doing those actions. So I'm very grateful for you for doing those things. Also, at the end of this video, there will be a QR code for my shop, my online tarot reading shop. If you want to get a tarot reading from me or for a loved one, that's a great place for you to check out some potential readings. I've got a large variety from the inexpensive to the more expensive, and take a look at those. And if you want, order and I'll get you a reading for you or for a loved one or for a friend or anybody. Okay, so all of those things. And this is usually the time in my videos where I would say, let's draw our attention together on a specific topic. But this time, I think we're going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to head right into the cards. What I'll do is I will show you the spread. I'll tell you about the deck and the spread briefly, and then we'll read the spread. And then after we read the spread, I'll give you a little bit of that wrap up that I usually did at the beginning of the videos, and see if you like that better. If you like this way of organizing the video recording of the spread better, let me know in the comments below. Okay? If you want me to go back to the old way, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so friends, first off, here's the spread. So friends, this is the last time we're going to be seeing this deck for a while. Yeah, this is the Bluebird Lenormand. It's a mass market deck. It's a wonderful deck. I really enjoyed using it. Now, you saw on each of the cards, we have a very traditional, though not an original, image of the symbol for the card. And we've got a very large and easy to read playing card insert, which I really appreciate. And we've also got a little poem on each one of the cards, which I've been including in this, in the use of this deck as I record these videos, right? So what you just saw, and there will be a link in the description box below if you want to get this deck. It's like I said, mass market. You can probably find it at any online bookstore. I'll put an Amazon link. I'm not an affiliate. I don't get any money. I'm just the one I know that's most people would use. So that's the link that'll be in the description box below. So yes, you saw the spread. There are a spread of 7 cards, and I call this my airstrip spread. Other people call it an airstrip spread. I've also seen other names for this spread, but the point of this spread for me especially is that this is a spread that gets us from one thing to another. Yeah, so the card on the left for you is where we begin, and then we move through the spread to get to the card on the right. Now, there are a couple of ways to use this spread. I think I've mentioned it, but just in case I haven't, yeah? You can deliberately choose the beginning and end cards and then shuffle and lay out the cards in the middle. Yeah, so for example, if you want to get from some kind of an ending to some kind of happiness, right? So maybe you choose the coffin for the or the cross for the beginning of that spread, and maybe you'll choose the sun at the end, and then you'd shuffle the cards and find out how to get there. Yeah, that's one way to use the spread. I did not do that. I'm laying these cards out left to right as the deck and the divine and my unconscious and the universe sees fit. Yeah, so we've got a really interesting spread. And we're about to get into this spread together right now. So friends, let me show you the spread once more, and then let's read it together. Here it is. Friends, you saw we had from left to right, the dog, the house, the key, the lily, the clover, the scythe, yeah, and then the book. So, you know I like to get an overall sense of the positivity, negativity of a spread, right? So, what does that mean for this spread? Well, the only really negative card in this spread is the scythe over here on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, I should say. Yeah, on your right. Well, it would be the right for me too. And the rest of them are pretty dang positive, right? The dog is positive. The key is positive. The clover is positive. Now, I'm not going in order, so we've got 3 positive cards there. We've got 2 positive neutral cards, which are the house and the key. And then we had 1 neutral negative card, which is the book. So that neutral negative card knocks out one of the neutral positive cards, right? So that's 1 neutral positive. That 1 negative card, which is the scythe, knocks out one of the positives. So we've got 2 positives and 1 positive negative, 1 positive neutral. So it's a pretty positive spread, right? And yeah, this whole thing looks pretty positive, even though it seems like we're moving into a negative thing. We move from something very positive, for you it's this side, we move from something very positive into something a little bit negative, yeah? But even though we, for example, claim that the scythe is a negative card, it's not always 100% all of the time a bad thing, right? Because, for example, a double negative is a positive in English grammar. Yeah? I'm never not happy means I'm always happy, right? So maybe this scythe being negative with the book will create a double positive that will open up to something good. Something that we want, in fact. But let's see what happens. Yeah, we're starting with the dog. Here's the dog, over on the left. Yes, the dog. What is a dog? A dog is a friend, right? A reliable companion. A dog is someone or a being, I should say, that will watch over us, watch out for us. Because it's a reciprocal relationship, right? Yeah, we take care of the puppy takes care of us. So friendship, loyalty, reliability, all of those things are mixed up with the dog. Yeah, it could be an actual friend, a chum. Yeah, either male. Mostly we consider this card to be a more masculine friend, or more male, I should say a more male friend, but it could be either male, female, non-binary, intersex, all of that, right? So it could be a friend, a chum, but a platonic friend. We're not talking fuck buddies here, right? This is a platonic friendship, I believe. So this is where we start off. friendship or a friend. And I think the way that this spread unfolds for us, I lean more towards the idea of friendship rather than the actual friend, because I think that will open this up for us more. So it's not just one person, but our ability to be friendly, to be a friend, our friendship, our loyalty, our reliability are key elements for us here at the beginning of this year. And what is the poem on here? I don't know if you can see it at this distance, but the poem here says, man's best friend, faithful and true, his soul he'd lend in trust to you. A pat on the head delights the old boy and rewards you greater with loyalty and joy. Yeah, so it's our ability to be loyal to others, but also to express our friendship, right? And it doesn't have to be a great show of friendship. It could be a gentle pat on the back. It could be an encouraging word. It could be the little things, this little daily, repetitive, reliable actions that we do that help us to support and strengthen our friendships with other people. Right? Because those friendships need to be. Well, you don't need to have friends, There's no need here in an intentional life. When we live intentionally, we know that everything is available to us, everything is possible for us that we believe, and we don't need to do anything. We have the potential, we have the joy, we have the possibility to do all of these things. Yeah, so we benefit from being the friend, from expressing our friendship. And again, it doesn't need to be on a grand scale. It could be the daily friendly actions that we do to or we perform for other people. And it's not performative, but that we perform for other people. Yeah, we express our care by a pat on the back, or a stroke of the hand, or a holding the hand, or a gentle, kind, supportive word, or a series of words, right? All of that stuff. That's where we want to begin. And so, what is the next card? The next card is the house. And the house is what? It's where we live. It's our domicile. It's where we feel safe, perhaps, our security, where we feel at home, we feel comfortable. It's structure, right? It's a place where we can duck in for safety and to rest and to relax and to invite people in too, right? We invite people, our friends, into our homes to share intimacy, to share friendship. So the home here can be all of those things, right? Our home, our direct environment. It could be our privacy. This is our place where we have our safe space, right? It could also be real estate and inheritance. If that's meaningful to you, you can run with that. But it's our base, our ground, our home, our security, and our stability. Now, if it's a person, it could be a kind, older male figure. Yeah, a husband perhaps, or an older family type kind of guy. Yeah, an older male, kind, family-related man. And that family can be any kind of family, right? It doesn't have to be Father Knows Best from the 50s. Now, it could be that, but it could also be one of a male couple, right? It could be a father of adopted children, or an intentional family, that this is the older male figure of this intentional group of familial relationships. It could be all of those things. So for this spread, what I see is that we start off with our friendship our friendship, our reliability, and our ability to be friends to others and to be loyal to others. And we have our home, our safe space, our grounded space, and a space that we can invite our friends into. Right? So we have that generous heart of friendliness and welcoming and having space and holding space for others and feeling safe and secure in that space and being reliable. And what is the poem for this card? The poem for this card is a stately house beyond the gale. Beyond the gate? The gate, I'm sorry, not the gale, the gate. A stately house beyond the gate bestows stability upon your fate. In love and play, your chance to win depends on how you first begin. So, yeah, loving and playing are part of this too, right? This homeliness, not in the sense of looking not good or pretty or handsome, but that homeliness, that comforting sense is important here, especially at the beginning of the spread. So this can lead us into love, and it can lead us into a space for play as well with our friendship. And those two ideas are very, very strongly emphasized as a great old yes with the key card. The key card. This is what? It unlocks doors. It unlocks secrets. It unlocks things. It is the answer to a problem. So the key is success and certainty. It's the answer. And what the answer is what follows this, right? What follows. The next card will be an answer to this, to whatever problem. But this key is what unlocks any problems we might be experiencing. It will be this way. It's like an exclamation point. If this had been at the end of the spread, it would have been an exclamation point to the entire spread. But this is an exclamation point to the dog in the house. These are things we really want to emphasize. Right? For us, at the beginning of this spread, at the beginning of this week, our loyalty, our friendship, our reliability, our welcoming spaces, welcoming people in, and our feelings of groundedness and stability are the key. And what is the poem on the key card? The poem here is, inspiration unlocks the door. Solutions are the key to success and more. Miracles and insights are easy to trace once the final piece rumbles into place. And we'll get to that final piece in just a moment. But see, we've got success here. We've got miracles available to us here, which is great at the beginning of a new year, right? Now we've had a bit of a knockdown, blow up kind of 2024, and maybe 2025 is going to be a little bit rough too, but we've got some miracles available to us here. And what is the key? What is the answer which follows? The answer to whatever things that need answers to is the lily. And what is that? For me, the lily, I wanted to say a tall, stately flower, and it kind of is. Yeah, it's used in a stately fashion. We place it in ritual spaces, especially public ritual spaces. Not so much, you might use it on your private altar, but we use them in funerals. We use them even perhaps in baptisms. We use them in public spaces for symbols of purity, of uprightness, right? They are upright flowers. They are strong flowers. There's a strength to they're very, velvety textured petals, but they're strong, right? So what is the lily? The lily is harmony, it's family. It's also sexuality. Yeah, not the sexuality of the kind of sexuality that might be embodied by a whip or a broom of repeated banging actions, but rather the sensual kind of sexuality, right? There's virtue here as well. Not saying that there's a lack of virtue in any other expression of sexuality, but there's also virtue here too. Now it's the King of Spades, which kind of echoes the King of Hearts from the House card, right? The King of Spades, which is another older male figure, maybe an older lover. It could be a man with gravitas, yeah, one who is grounded and has a deep voice and speaks profoundly and offers advice to others. It might be a grandfather figure or an elder male. And so, if you got anybody like that hanging around you, that person could give you some help. But I think in addition to that, for the rest of us, myself included, it's that sense of being harmonious, being family oriented, and expressing our virtue and our sensuality will be the answers for us. Now let's take a look at that poem. Yeah, the poem. Lilies are white, green leaves surround. The outlook is bright and passion will abound. Passion, right? Okay. When this card rests higher, it means good disposition. The card resting lower, a dubious position. Now, frankly, this card is in the center of the spread, which means it's got a key role. So we might say it is positioned high, which would tell us that there's good disposition available for us. But really in this spread, there's really no higher or lower because it's a horizontal spread from left to right. But if we're going to pick high cards in the spread, I would pick the card at the beginning, the card at the end, because that's where we start and where we finish, and then the card in the middle. So, sure, why not? But yeah, the outlook is bright with this card. Yeah, there's passion in addition to that. So our passion should not be ignored in this spread as well. I mean, virtue and passion are not necessarily in conflict. We can be virtuously passionate. Being virtuous doesn't necessarily mean being cold and austere. We can be virtuous and passionate about those things that are good, that are right, that are true, that are powerful. Don't you think? So that's a great cluster of beginning this spread, right? We go from friendship through our home space and our reliability and our ability to hold space for others as we hold space for ourselves. And we've got this key to success with our maturity and our virtue and our passion. And that brings us what? That will bring us the clover, yeah? Which is small, but it is green, it is healthy, it's vibrant. You cut it down, it comes right back. That's something I haven't thought about very often, but the clover is small. And yeah, you can kill it out with poisonous toxins, but if you do cut it down, it will grow right back. Right? So remember, the scythe is coming up next. So it being cut by the scythe doesn't mean it goes away. It grows right back. And whenever I see a clover, the first thing I think of is that symbolic four-leaf clover, which is luck. From my distant Irish past, perhaps, I don't know, that's the first thing I think of, is the four-leaf clover. So what is the clover card? It's small, yes. It is everyday, right? It's not beautiful like the bouquet or the lily or There's another flower card. No, there's not, or the garden even, right? It's not beautiful like those. It's very everyday. It's very homely, not ugly, but homely. It is of the home. But it's also happiness. It's hope. It gives us synchronicities. Synchronicities will be available to us if we flow with the course of this spread, right? Synchronicities to find stuff, maybe money. Maybe money, that would be nice. But blessings perhaps, little blessings, little omens. And it's interesting because this card is in the same position it was last video, right? Which is interesting. So we're still moving towards our luck, into our good fortune, into our blessings, into synchronicities, into happiness and hope. And what is the poem on this card? Flowers surrounded in clover leaf mean happiness surmounted over grief. Happiness over grief, surmounted over grief. Bits of luck and fortune await. You have the potential to make life great. What could be better than that? Well, there are probably things that could be even more better than that, but this is pretty dang good if you ask me, yeah? So we move into this card we move from that card into the most negative card in the spread, which is not the end, but it is very cutting, right? It's the scythe. What does this scythe do? Well, suddenly I recall that the saying or the proverb about, not proverb, but anyways, pounding your swords into plowshares. Yeah? Plowshares. Plowshares would be like similar to a scythe. Yeah, the thing that we use to harvest grain instead of the thing we use to kill people. So yes, the scythe is dangerous. It's sharp. It cuts things off. It cuts things down. But it also harvests. It also is what we use to feed ourselves and our community. So if used correctly, if used well, it's of great benefit. But again, it can be dangerous. So you can cut off a finger or a leg, or you can kill somebody with it. Still, it's sharp, it's metal, it's pointy. It depends on how we use it. And in this spread, it looks to me like maybe the blunt side of this spread is now, I read this side directionally, right? The sharp side will be painful, will be a painful experience perhaps, or will be sharp, it will be cutting. So maybe something that we want to avoid, unless it's cutting off something that is negative, like perhaps the coffin, or if the tree card is an indication of ill health, for which it is for some people, not for me, but cutting those negative things off would be a positive, right? The blunt side kicks the thing on the other side in the shins. It makes you active. The do it now thing, right? It's the demanding side. So to me, the pointy part of this scythe is this part here. And that's pointing toward the book. The side that's being activated or being kicked in the shins is the clover. So our clover is being activated. Our luck, our good fortune, synchronicities, blessings, they're being stimulated by the scythe card. And the scythe card is cutting off the thing that is on the other side, which we'll get to in a second. But before we get to that, let's look at the poem. It says, the scythe cuts here, danger stalks too. Of strangers beware, they can harm you. If nearby cards hold favorable view, with swift action you'll overcome too. So, the card on this side, it was a positive card. It's the clover, right? So we've got some positive energy leading into the scythe, which is going to be cutting open the next card. So we have the potential with that clover to overcome what is next. Can you get that? So even though this card is painful, it can be sacrifice, it can be separation. It can also be harvest and sorting and gatherings of stuff, gathering the stuff that's leading up to it perhaps, and cutting open, and maybe gathering from the card that's coming up next, which is the book card. And you'll see that the book card has a spine and open pages. And the spine is what was facing the scythe card. Yeah? Now the scythe can cut open anything. The spine side of the book is where the secrets... Okay, so what is a book? I'm sorry, let's go into that briefly. A book is what? It's something that we use to publish information to a broad number of people. Whereas the letter is usually a one-to-one communication. Yeah, I send you a letter, I'm giving information to you personally. And maybe a couple of people with you, usually. The book is for mass consumption. Yeah, I give information to hundreds or thousands or millions of people, right? Yeah, even at the time of the creation of this system, this deck, the book, we had the printing press, books were published and sold to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. Maybe not millions, but hundreds of thousands of people. So it's that kind of transmission of information. Now also at the time of the creation of this system, not everybody was literate. So there was also that element of secrecy to the book. Not everybody has access to the knowledge because not everybody can read it. Or has access to purchase a book because they were kind of expensive, more expensive relatively than they are today, probably. Especially this kind of book, I think. So what does a book mean? It could be secrets. Something that is not shown yet. And the open side of the book has the indication of things that could be revealed soon. The side of the spine is where the things that are not going to be revealed are located. But what's on the side of the spine is the scythe, which cuts things open. So maybe the scythe is cutting this book open for us. So what is hidden will be revealed. Secrets will be revealed. And we might want to look around the cards to see where the secret is, but we don't really get that much, I don't think, in this spread. If there were a card after the book card, maybe we could look there. Knowledge or something could be closed. It could also be studying and learning. Yeah, we could harvest. We could gain from our studying and learning. So what I get from this card are a couple of things. I get a couple of things from this card. One is that studying and learning will be beneficial for us. We want to move from our space of friendship, remember, in our homes, and opening and being inviting and reliable. That is the success. That is the key. That is the answer. And we want to, and from there we grow with our maturity and our virtue and our sensuality, our passion, right? And that leads to success. And then that can cut open the secrets here. But we also want to move in the direction, I think, of studying and learning. So what is this book telling us? What is the poem, I should say? The poem is, the unopened book weaves stories concealed. When pages are read, the truth is revealed. So that's why I was saying that the open part of the book is where truths are revealed. Yeah? The book guards tales of inner emotion. Blessed are the words of deep devotion. So, yes, devotion, friendship. Friendship, devotion. Beginning of the spread, end of the spread. Friendship, devotion. Friendship, devotion, right? Our inner emotions are important. Maybe what will be revealed is what we actually are feeling, which will be revelatory, maybe, perhaps. Maybe the knowledge that is revealed, that is opened, that is cut open, is our psyche, our inner lives, our inner... our unconscious might be revealed, might be opened up for us. Although I would generally put the unconscious in the moon card personally, but where are our secrets hidden, if not in our unconscious? Where is our emotional... What area of our emotions that we are not aware of can be revealed, and where would that be located? I think that would be located in the unconscious, I would think. So maybe we've got a little bit of enlightenment, a little bit of self-discovery that is possible here. Now, there are a couple of things I like to do. And I'll do them again I will do them in just a moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the spread again, just so you get a refresher and you can see the cards again from left to right, this way for you, right? We'll see the cards once more, and then we're going to read the mirrors, and we'll get the overarching theme of the card, of the spread. Yes? Okay, friends, here is the spread once more. Friends, we're going to do the mirror cards, right? And just in case you don't know what I mean by that, I mean that in a line spread like this, other spreads too, we get cards we think of as mirrors, yeah? Which means that we start with the center card, which in this spread is the lily, and then the two cards flanking that lily card are the key and the clover, and they are mirrors of each other. Right? Then the next, the house and the scythe are mirrors of each other. And then the final dog and the book are mirrors of each other. Right? So, let's start off. Let's just remember that the center of the spread is the lily, which is harmony, it's family. Friends invited into the house can be family too. It's virtue, our passions. What else? Yeah, those things. That's the core, I think, here. Family, harmony, our passionate sensuality in virtue. That is the core of our journey now. Yes? And the next two cards are, what could be, well, there are slightly better potentials available. But here we go with the key and the clover. Fabulous, right? The key being success and certainty. The clover being what? It's their happiness, hope, synchronicity. Yeah? The key is the answer. Our answers will lead. The answers to the questions that we've been asking ourselves, or we have not even allowed ourselves to ask ourselves, which will be opened by following the path of this spread, by moving from our loyalty through the house, this way for you, from our loyalty of the dog into the house to the key, by moving on this path. Now we have the potential for success and synchronicities and things lining up for us. And yeah, that's the major point of this spread, I think. Now the next two cards are a little bit problematic, right? The House and the Scythe. So there might be some discomfort at home in this coming week. There might be some painful accidents. There might be some sacrifice around our private. Maybe we might need to give up some of our privacy. We might need to give up some of our we might need to cut our homes open, which is part of that inviting people in, right? To open our safe spaces for those friends, for the family to enter. We might be called to do that, to cut open our homes in this coming week. That makes sense, yes? And then, what do we have? We have the dog and the book, right? So, and it was interesting in the poem for the book was that truth is revealed, right? The book guards tales of inner emotion. Blessed are the words of deep devotion, friendship, reliability. So perhaps our friends will help us reveal secrets for ourselves. Not that they've been keeping things hidden from us, but that they can help us discover secrets that will benefit for us, that will be of benefit to us. Does that make sense? Yeah, our friends might actually be the ones who help us on this journey. And maybe, yes, we do want to, now we're actually moving into actual other people friends instead of our friendship, but other friends might help us open the books for us, to discover the blessings that are within. And maybe those blessings will be a little bit challenging, maybe, but they're not challenging to do us harm, but they're challenging for us to grow, to evolve, to discover the truth that lies within. Yeah? Now, we're going to look at the playing card inserts briefly here. Now, if we just look at the inserts, what do we see? We've got a lot of diamonds. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diamonds, all positive, 1 heart, and only 1 spade. So generally, playing card-wise, we've got a positive look here. Yeah? We got people available to us. We got 2 old guys and a younger guy with the scythe. Maybe an analytical guy is available to us in this week. Pay attention to the guys in your life, the male-bodied people, perhaps. But we want to add up the cards, right? So this is coming up to a large total. The 10 plus the king, that gives us 23, right? Plus the 8, that gives us 31. Plus another king, that gives us 44. Plus the 6, that gives us 50. Plus the jack, that gives us 61. Plus the book, which is 10, gives us 71. Boy, I did that right here live for you. I didn't have it written out or anything. That was pretty good. So 71, there is no 71st card in the deck. I mean, I could run to a tarot deck and imagine that would be what? It would be somewhere in the pentacles, right? I mean, if you put it the way that I order the deck in my mind, that would be in the pentacles area. But we're not doing that. So we add 7 plus 1 together to give us 8. 8. What card is 8? 8 is the coffin. One of those negative cards, right? It's a neutral negative card for me because it's a card of endings, and some things it's good that they end, right? The ending of clouds, the ending of confusion, that would be a good thing, right? So this spread is about what? The coffin. Being that this spread came at this time, I think this spread is about the end of the year. The ending of the last year, and so that we can begin the new one. Yeah, we're going to box up last year in the coffin and send it away. We don't want to forget it. We don't want to forget what we've learned. We don't want to forget the experiences we've had. But we do want to box up the last year so that we are ready for the next year. And now this is not the same as, for example, the death card in Tarot, which is a card of transformation. And I know that there are people who think of the coffin as the card of transformation, and for me, it is not. It's just boxing things up, ending things. It's the end. I read the coffin directionally, so the head would be the thing that, let's not get into that. It's not important. But things are being boxed up, and I think it's the last year. Now, the coffin could also be stagnation. It could be emptiness. It could be mourning. It could be death, ill health and death, of course. But for us in this spread, which is a very positive spread, I think it's the endings of things. And because it's this time of the year, it's the ending of one year so that we can begin the new. And even though the calendar that we use in most of the world today is very, very arbitrary, I'm sorry. I think what we call January 1st is such an arbitrary day. We could have picked so many other meaningful things astrologically to be the beginning of the year, like, I don't know, one of the solstices, right? You put December 21st as January 1st, the beginning of the new year, the return of the light. That would have made sense. We could have put it on one of the zodiacal entries, right? But no, we picked January 1st. To me, that's totally random, but even though it is arbitrary, to me, we are collectively ending one year. So the coffin being the summation card makes absolute sense to me. So what is this spread saying to us? And I haven't actually landed on a title for us yet. What I see in this spread is that our relationships with other people and our ability to be welcoming and open to them and our interactions with them are what is going to bring us the maturity, the upright nature of self that will help us to enter the new year with good fortune, with happiness, with hope, allowing synchronicities to appear for us, which will help guide us through this next year, and will help open us up to understanding more about ourselves and who and where we are in the world, so that we can live our lives more intentionally. Because all of these things all together do support us in living lives intentionally. Can you see that? What is living an intentional life? Living an intentional life, a lot of it is actually done, I don't want to say unconsciously, It's done by the multitude of choices and predilections that we have every moment of every day. We make choices, we have an experience, we want more of that experience or we don't want to have that experience anymore, and we with conscious focus or not, we create experiences that we want to have in the future. What does that mean? I see somebody, I have an interaction with them, I find that interaction to be very displeasing. I want another kind of interaction, a different kind of interaction, a more loving, a more open, a more supportive, a more positive interaction, and I place that interaction on my path, on my current of intention, on my life path, you might say, on my life current. I have a good experience, and I want to have something similar to that, or I want to have that experience again, perhaps with a different person or with more people, and I place that potential, that vibratory, that imaginal experience onto my current of intention. And all of those choices, all of those decisions, all of those dreams and desires and things that we want, either as a reaction to something that we don't like or as a reaction to something we love, all of those things we are placing, whether we're aware of it or not, on our current of intention. And what we want to do is open ourselves to the power of intention, which will draw us toward those experiences we've decided for ourselves that we want to have. Just as we draw those experiences we want to have toward us by law of attraction. So it's like the two sides of magnets moving in towards each other, each one of them, right? Intention draws us toward them to what we call the future, and they move towards us by our desire and our love and our well-being and our joy and our awareness, our openness to intention, to the possibilities, to love. And all of that can be so strongly supported by our friendly, reliable relationships with others and opening ourselves up to bringing those biological and intentional family members into our sacred home spaces for intimate, deep interaction, which will allow us to grow like the lily into our maturity and our virtue. As that is also part of living an intentional life, our evolution is part of our intentional life. If we decide that, nope, I'm done, I'm complete, I'm not going to grow, I'm not going to learn anymore, I've learned all that I can learn, I'm done, that's the path to death, right? Living an intentional life is a life of evolution. And that's the direction that this spread is heading us towards. And as we evolve, as we mature, as our virtue evolves, as our passion for life evolves, synchronicities, good fortune, luck, all of those things can grow. And even if the scythe is there cutting off those bits of clover, the good luck, the good fortune, the synchronicities, that scythe is harvesting those and providing space for them to grow even more, right? And then our secrets will be revealed. Not like the whole world is going to find out our dirty little secrets. That's not what we're talking about. We will understand more about ourselves, about our relationships, our we'll discover our deep devotion for those friends that intentional family and that biological family that we have invited into our homes. Does that make sense? That's a great way to begin the new year, I think. Don't you? Title for this video. I think we're just going to say Happy New Year. That is the title for this video. So friends, here we are. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming on this journey with me. Thank you for evolving with me. And in just a couple of days after this video appears on YouTube, there will be a response video using a pairing of decks that I think you will enjoy. So stay tuned for that. Also stay tuned for the QR code and my address for my shop if you want to get a private reading from me. And now, as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. And Happy New Year. Thank you.